was involved. So let's look at verses from 322 onwards. So in the prior verse, while they were expressing the anger, some broke the tree branches and some said, I am death personified for the atheists. Someone made some loud, unnatural sounds, and someone went to arrest Yamaraja and bring him there. Standing there, he said, O Yamadutas, go and inform your master, the son of Surya, that the Lord of Vaikuntha is incarnated in the house of Sachi, and he is personally performing Kirtana throughout the city of Navadepa. ये यम प्रभावे तोरा धर्म राजा यम ये यम तरीला जामिला विपर्धामा. By the influence of the holy names, Yama became renowned as Dharmaraja, the authority on religious principles. By the influence of the holy names, the fallen Brahmana Ajamila was delivered. Simply by the influence of the name of Hari, Yamaraja was designated Dharmaraja. Simply by the influence of Namabhasa, the fallen Brahmana Ajamila was delivered from the hands of Yamaraja. In other words, Yamaraja released Ajamila because he engaged in Namabhasa. So, what was Ajamila doing? When he saw that Yamadutas were coming closer to him, he called out his younger son, and his son's name he kept was Narayana. But although he can keep the son's name as Narayana, Narayana is the name of Supreme Lord. So as soon as he uttered this name, it became a Nam Abhasa. He was calling out to his son, but the Supreme Lord thought he is calling out to him Narayana, because you can keep the names as Narayana, Krishna, Keshava, Madhava, Govinda, whatever, but then all these names belong to the Supreme Lord. So the Lord sends out his Vishnu Dutas to protect Ajamila's soul. Verse 362. Hena nama sarva mukhe prabhu bolaila ucharine shakti nahi setahas sunilam. The Lord is now inducing everyone to chant those holy names, and these who are unable to chant are, and those who are unable to chant are hearing those names. So the holy name is so powerful that not only the chanter gets the benefit, but suppose you are in outside your home and you are chanting, and say you are traveling somewhere, even your nearby passengers hear it, they also get the benefit. And it is so powerful that it can not only help the person who is chanting. That is why when Srila Prabhupada was chanting in Tompkins Square Park, the fallen souls in that place, they also got attracted and they took up the holy name and they started dancing around Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada used to take a harmonium and every day go and sing there, sing evening for 2 hours. He used to sing under under that park, under a tree in that park. Ultimately, when the jiva, all of us come to realize that we all come to realize at one point in time that with the elapse of time, the body also gets older, and we are also not able to do things which we used to be able to do as a child or as a youthful age, or even as an adolescence, or whatever in the age of 30 to 40 or 42. As we grow, we realize that our body doesn't function the same way. So one comes to a point, there's something beyond our control. One visible thing is the time factor itself. The other is nature, and the third is what is happening around us. We see that people of different age are slowly passing away. The time weakens our body, and the soul, when it's not able to survive within the body, has to depart. So it is not the desire of the jiva when it is departing. It is actually the Supreme Lord, the Paramatma, the Shirodakshai Vishnu, who is present in every jiva. When he decides to go out, that is the point when which the prana vayu or the jiva is able to move out. So one comes to realize that we are not in control of many things or nothing. In fact, one has to come to this realization as we are in control of nothing. So about this material world or jada vastu, we are the five senses, our five senses, and above these senses is our mana, mind, intelligence, mana, buddhi, ahankar. So mind and intelligence are one level above these five senses, and above that is the jiva, the soul, which is just as a witness. So the mind, the jiva, which is responsible for having so many desires, which is then contemplated and executed by the mind and the senses. And beyond the jiva is Paramatma. So when we realize that everything is control of Paramatma, then we would not waste our time. We would not waste our time because we are in control of nothing. The jiva, it said that it's only observing everything. It is akarputvam, which means it is not doing any kriya. It is not doing anything. It is only observing. We'll go to the next verse 327. Prani matra kare yadi kare mora dosha nahi tabe kariba samhara. So if Yama attempts to display his authority by punishing any living entities, then I cannot be blamed when I destroy him. जत कह गिया यथा आचे चित्रगुप्त पापीरा लिखाना सब जत कर लुप्त. Go quickly and inform Chitragupta that he should immediately destroy the records of the sinners. There are 14 yamas and Chitragupta is one of them. He is entrusted with the duty of recording the sinful and pious activities of the human beings. Someone intoxicated by chanting the Lord's names is saying that whatever Chitragupta Yama has recorded about the sinful human beings should now, by the influence of chanting of the holy names, be wiped clean. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, go and tell Chitragupta that he should destroy the records if he is chanting the holy names. So if one is reading scriptures and one is having full faith in the scriptures given by our acharyas, given by Shri Lord Krishna himself, and very dedicatedly studies these scriptures, applies this and understands this, then for him there is no death in a sense that he would continue the service what he is doing in his next life or in his whichever body the Lord is going to give. So all the sins will be eradicated. At the same time, he will get more fixed up on devotional service and progress in his spiritual path. Verse 329. ये नाम प्रभवे तीर्थ राजा वाराणसी यहाँ गया शुद्ध सत्व श्वेत द्वीपवासी. By the influence of these names, Varanasi has become celebrated as the king of the holy places. The transcendently situated residents of Shvetadvipa chant these holy names. The five-headed Mahadeva resides in Varanasi and chants the holy name of the Lord. So what is Lord Shiva chanting in Varanasi? He is chanting the holy names of the Supreme Lord. He chants Lord Ram's name. So that is why it is said that those people who leave their body in Varanasi, Lord Shiva comes and tells the name of Lord Ram in their ears, and they completely are liberated. People who leave their bodies in Varanasi. The Varanasi is a primary tirtha or a primary place of learning as well. The transcendently situated associates of the Supreme Lord residing in Shvetadipa remain free from the three modes of material nature by singing the glories of the holy name. So by singing the glories of the holy name, those who are transcendently situated, they are also free from the three modes of material nature. सर्ववन्द्य महेश्वर ये नाम प्रभवे हीना नाम सर्वलोके Sune Bale Ebe. Maheshwara has become worshipable by the influence of these names. Now everyone is hearing and chanting these holy names. Mahadeva is worshipable by all the demigods and human beings chant the holy names after hearing them from Mahadeva. The Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, which comes from the Rudra Sampradaya, its original founder, was inaugurated 200 years before the advent of Christ in the province of Madura. In that line appeared Lakshmidhara, the author of Nama Kaumudi, and his brother Sridhara Swami Pada, whose compositions are based on Shuddha Advaita philosophy. Both describe the glories of the holy names in their writings. Sri Sanatan Goswami Prabhu has glorified the book Sri Nama Kaumudi. The descendants of Premakara and other, according to Sundarakanda, Vidya Vinoda in Achintya Bheda, Abheda, Vada, Lakshmana Bhatta, the father of Vallabhacharya, was a disciple of Premakara Muni. Family gurus of Vallabhacharya did not realize the inconceivable glories of the holy name. Hena nama lao chada sarva apakara bhaja vishwambhara nahe karimu samhara. Chant these holy names, give up all wicked activities and worship Vishwambhara, otherwise I will destroy you. Simply by giving up the desire for engaging in any time of... Just a minute, please. Simply by giving up the desire for engaging in any type of harmful activity, one develops a propensity for chanting the Lord's names. As maintainer of the entire world, Vishwambhara Gaurasundara has maintained the entire world by distributing the holy names. Sri Gaurasundara and his intimate servant Dharmaraja are eager to completely destroy the sinful conceptions of those who are opposed to chanting the holy names. So the Supreme Lord is trying to give the holy names, but the fallen Jiva thinks that this material world is made for his enjoyment. But the Jiva doesn't understand that the time on this material world is very temporary, and whatever he sees as attracting to his senses are also going to be temporary. So, along with time, he's going to be wasting his time if he's not going to be chanting the holy names and eventually face the inevitable death of the gross body, and the jiva would have wasted its time, because only from the human body one can elevate themselves to higher planetary systems or go back home, back to Godhead. But the 99.9, you can say 99.5 or 99.9% of the entire people on this world lack this knowledge, and it is a difficult thing. We see that they all live like cats and dogs and are suffering the waves and pangs of material nature. And whosoever is not suffering, they are thinking that whosoever is not suffering, they are thinking that this is going to be permanent. This life is meant to do maja, and they don't think that there is a saja waiting at the end of their time. And nowadays, with so much of adulteration and everything, nobody is able to tell. At least Parikshit Maharaj knew that at the end of seventh day he would pass. For us also, it is the same 7 days, but we don't know which day it is. For Parikshit Maharaj, he had those 7 days, so he invested those 7 days in listening to the glories of Lord Krishna and completely surrendered to Krishna. And before even death came from Takshaka bird, he was liberated. He found his moksha, and he left his body, because his mana buddhi, the ahankar, his subtle body, everything he could deliver, and then he could reach the lotus feet of Lord. But for us it is the same 7 days, but we don't know which day, seventh day. So we are in constant anxiety, and that is why one has to utilize their time in listening, in reading, in chanting, and slowly try to withdraw from the attachment to the material world. And it will happen automatically. If you get attached to the services rendering to Supreme Lord, automatically you will be getting detached from the material world, and that one should take up very seriously. So the because in the end it is only we are going to be left with only the devotion and nothing else. So it is said that dhanam meru tulyam, your dhana can be as big as Mount Meru, or yasha, you can have yasha and you could have fame, you would have glories, you would have a position, but nothing is of any use if you have not surrendered to your guru, if you have not taken the path of devotional service to Supreme Lord. Verse 332. Arajana Shavadishe Rada Diya Yaya Dhara Dhara Kota Kaji Bandiya Palaya. Some people ran around in all directions calling, "Catch the Kazi! He has tricked us and escaped somewhere." Krishnera Kirtanaye Papi Nahi Mane Kotha Gela Se Sakala Pashandi Ekane. Now, where are those sinful atheists who did not accept the chanting of Krishna's names? When sinful people's aversion to the Supreme Lord becomes prominent, they are unwilling to accept the remedy of Krishna Kirtana. Since people opposed to Kirtana equate the subordinate demigods with the Supreme Lord, they are called Pashandis. So, what are they doing? They are doing Namapra. They are equating the demigods with the Supreme Lord. It is the nature of Pashandis to count the names of the subordinate demigods as equal to Krishna Kirtana. So, they may be chanting some demigod name, but they think that it is Krishna Kirtana. Names of Krishna, spiritual names, while the names of the demigods are mundane. There is a difference between the names of the demigods and the demigods themselves. Therefore, the endeavor to equate Krishna's name with the demigod's name, which are separate from Krishna's names, is one of the 10 offenses in chanting the holy names. To think that the holy name is similar to the names of demigods is one of the 10 offenses. So one should not do that and only take the holy, divine, holy names of Krishna. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija. He has given his own potency, the full potency. When you call Krishna's name, Krishna is reciprocating instantaneously through somebody, or some buddhi is given to us. He gives us the intelligence. And Krishna certainly reciprocates. But if you call demigod's name, their name and demigod are different. So they are not going to reciprocate with us. माती ते किलाया केहा पाषंडी बालिया हरि बलि भूले पुनः हुंकारा करिया. Some of them punched the ground while calling out the name of some atheist, and then they roared loudly and wandered about chanting the name of Hari. हे माता कृष्णेरा उन्मादे सर्व क्षण किब बले किब करे नाहि का स्मरण. In this way, being always maddened with the ecstasy of Krishna consciousness, they did not remember what they said or what they did. Nagariya sakalere unmada dekhiya mara ye pashandi sabha jwaliya pudiya. As the atheists saw the maddened condition of the townspeople, they burned with envy. So now here the devotees were ecstatic in Krishna Kirtana and the atheists were now burning in the envy. The atheists were opposing the process of worshipping and chanting the holy names, and they always burned with envy and invoked one of the 10 types of death. To extinguish the fire in their bodies, they enviously became hostile to the devotees. Sakala Pashandi Meli Gana Mane Mane Gosani Karena Kaji Aisek Ekhane. The thieves all simultaneously desired, if the Lord is willing, let the Kazi come now. Kotayaya Ranga Danga, Kotayaya Daka, Kotayaya Nata Gita, Kotayaya Janka. Then what will happen to all this pomp and fun? What will happen to the loud screaming? What will happen to the dancing and singing, and what will happen to their big show? Hota ya kala ponta gata amra Sara, Esa Kala Vanchera, Shorita Bedhara. Then what will happen to the banana trees, water pots, and mango leaves? They will receive a suitable reward for their threads. Yata dekha mahatapa deyuti sakala, yata dekha hera sabha bhavaka mandala. The Qazi will see all these big torches and he will see all these sentimental devotees. The word Devuti means lamp. So the devotees were carrying mashal. Mashal means the cloth wrapped on a thick stick and dipped in ghee or oil, and it has been torched. So devotees were doing their sankirtana with the torches. गंडा गोला सुनिया ऐसे काजिया बे शबर गंगाया जानपा देखी bana tabe. The Qazi will also hear the great commotion, and then we will see all the devotees jump into the Ganges. केहा भले मुनि तबे निकटे ताकिया नगरिया sabadena galaya bandiya. Someone else said, then I will stay around and bind all those fellows by the neck and turn them in. केहा बले छालायई खाजी रे काहिते केहा bale yukti nahe ema na karite. Another said, let us go and inform the Qazi. Someone else said, that is not very reasonable. केहा भले भाई सब एका युक्ति आछे सब राधा दिया यई पावा केरा काचे. Someone said, oh, brothers, I have an idea. Let us quickly approach those sentimental devotees. ऐसे करिया काजी वचन तो लाई तबे एका जाना ओ न रही बतारा थानी. We will tell them the Qazi is coming, then not even a single person will remain here. So the Athis are thinking that once we inform the devotees that the Qazi is coming, devotees will run away, getting scared of the Qazi. Ei mata pasandi apana kaya namane chaitanyera gana mata Shri Hari Kirtane. In this way, the atheists conspired among themselves, while the Lord Chaitanya's associates became maddened by chanting the glories of Lord Hari. Shabara angete shobe Shri Chandana mala anande gaena Krishna sabe hai bola. They were all decorated with sandalwood pulp and flower garlands. In ecstasy, they all chanted the names of Krishna. Nadiyara ekante nagara se muliya nachite nachite prabhu tari lagiya. As the Lord danced down the road, he came to the village of Simulia, which was situated on the outskirts of Nadia. The village of Simulia, situated less than a mile northeast of Ganga Nagara, was located on the outskirts of Nadia. अनंत अर्बुद मुखे हरिध्वनि सुनी हुंकार करिया नाचे द्विजकुल मणि. Unlimited millions of people chanted the names of Hari as the crest jewel of the Brahmanas danced and roared loudly. We'll take one more verse and then stop for today. से कमल नयने बा कत आछे झलकत केवा धारावाहे परम निर्मल. Who knows how much pure water in how many streams flowed from the lotus eye of the Lord. So the Lord was in great ecstasy, and while during Kirtana, he was having Ashrudhara, that is, he was having tears flowing from his eyes. कंप भावे उठे पदे अंतरिक्ष हैते कांदे नित्यानंद प्रभु न पारे धरिते. Shivering in ecstasy, the Lord jumped high in the air and then fell down. Nityananda lamented because he could not support the Lord. So we'll stop here. Thank you all for joining. Let's continue our devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Thank you so much.
Any questions or comments? Otherwise, we'll end the class here.
माताजी एक पॉइंट है यहाँ पे कि जैसे पिछले श्लोक में बताया कि डिवोटीज को सब सेंटिमेंटली बोलते हैं, तो इट इज रियली अभी भी ऐसा ही है। अगर हम ऐसा किसी को भी कुछ बताने जाए तो वो सब इतना हमें चुप कर देते हैं।
हम्म।
और समझते हैं कि हम सब सेंटिमेंटल से ही हम योग भक्ति कर रहे हैं। दिस इज
माता जी,
यू ऑल आर सेंटीज, ऐसे ही बोलते
ओके,
हैं।
ओके. You, from your own observance, you would have felt that how by chanting holy names you feel protected, how you feel nice, and there has been days when if you have not chanted, you also feel guilty or you missed your rounds, and you would, collect those rounds. So you know what it is to be a devotee or be feeling sheltered. You know for good that you are not in control of anything happening in your body. You know that everything is being run by Paramatma, right? The Supreme Lord is running everything. But the fallen jivas think that it is being run by the politicians, it is being run by the film stars, it is being run by the cricket stars, or they think that their life is being led. But when reversals comes in life or miseries come in life, then they will go and ask Lord, oh Lord, why only me? Okay, why only me? But the devotee, when he faces reversals, he says he feels closer to God, because when reversals come, devotees are chanting more intensely, praying more intensely. So, yes, you should be proud saying that, yes, we are sentimental. You need not react. But in your mind, you should say, yes, I am one of the most fortunate people that I have learnt about Krishna, right? And I know the path of achieving him through this bhakti process. You are not in Jnana Marga or Ashtanga Marga or Dhyana Marga, but you have directly come to bhakti process, which is the topmost, which is the elevator to reaching God. So you should feel very happy and proud, Mataji, and not feel. So the one thing I am realizing is, let's keep your mind very calm. What happens whenever so many things are happening around us? Our mind gets disturbed. The very cause of our uh, misery and happiness is our mind. So that is why that Bhagavad Gita, when धीर पुरुष को कैसे रहना चाहिए, it has been repeatedly said that one has to be very calm in both happiness and distress. So what does that mean? One has not to be agitated, or one has not to get very excited when there is happiness, or very morose when is sad, because you are only witnessing, we are only witnessing everything. So just calm your mind, and once your mind is calm, if you allow your mind to behave the normal way, then for miseries you will break down, for happiness you will jump with joy and ecstasy, which will last for just few minutes or few hours. So then again you will be back. There will be so many up and down. So when you try to calm your mind, control your mind through chanting and everything, and leave everything to the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord is your chariot driver. He is sitting in the auto rickshaw, you are sitting behind in the auto rickshaw. That's how the jiva is. The Paramatma is the rickshaw driver or the car driver, and you are sitting behind. And leave everything to Krishna. And the way Krishna drove the Rath of Arjuna in the battlefield, we are also driven. The Paramatma is driving us in the battlefield of our material life. So when you think this way, your mind calms down. You know that you are not in control of anything apart from, all you can do with your free will is pray. You have made the right choice, Mataji. So you should be very proud. If anything, those who are willing or eager, you can give them Krishna. Otherwise, those who are not willing, then one of the 10 offenses is not to preach to the faithless. So you need not react or respond to them. But then those who are willing to hear what you have learned, you should tell them. So that way, first calm your mind, and then you will see that how, as you observe what is happening around you, and you see how these jivas are struggling. And one day they will come back to you, somebody will come back to you. And if it is some family member, you can pray for them. Oh Lord, show them your mercy. So even to get bhakti is mercy of the Supreme Lord, Mataji. Okay, so you should feel very happy and fortunate about it. So they may call
Yes,
you
Mataji.
sentimental or anything. Yes, you say you have the best sentiment.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Anything else, Mataji, or anybody else? Okay. Hare Krishna. Vacha kalpataru bischa kripa sindhu bevacha. पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Okay, Madhya, thank you so much.